everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Guapish. As always, I'm your host, Nico, and today I am being joined by a man who we've talked enough about his racist past, okay? I think it's finally time we hear about his racist future. Tanner!
Guys, Persians are in this year.
And we're also being joined by a man who just recently learned we had a black president, Jackson.
We did?
And he calls his girl AI the way she makes him produce slop, Dylan.
She told me to say, beep boop motherfuckers, here I come.
Terrible.
And today, boys, we are doing a very fun little thing today. That's right, we are going to be doing another tier list where we are going to be ranking mythological creatures. Are you excited, boys?
I remember this, I think.
Are we gonna put the Wendigo on the tier list?
We're doing this for the first time, Dylan. You can't possibly remember it. Yeah. We're definitely not re-recording it after we all simultaneously had power outages.
Holy, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And to answer your question, Jackson, of course I include the Wendigo on the tier list, dude. Alright, so first up here, we have got the Akupara.
What the fuck?
Dude, I love that little guy.
Is this
the world tortoise? Little guy, you say?
World tortoise.
Has anyone considered the half-round, half-flat Earth?
These guys, I guess.
The Indians have.
Dude, we found our solution.
Africa is on the flat half, by the way.
Why is Africa? Never mind.
I don't know either. You guys can make up whatever racist reasons you want for that.
I don't want to. That's why I was asking.
I think the turtle is very funny. What are our tiers?
Alright, so for our tiers here, we are looking at godly, legend, cool, okay, and forgettable.
I'm gonna go legend. I like that it is a big turtle. I like that it has 4 elephants as well. Do you think it's like a hive mind situation with the turtle and the elephants?
No, I think they bicker constantly, actually.
Damn.
One of them lies, one of them tells the truth, one of them only makes white lies, and the other one's passive-aggressive.
One of them's a really picky eater, so when the turtle wants to go to Taco Bell, he's like, I swear to God, if we're going to Taco Bell again, I'm gonna just leave and let you guys have to carry the rest of this earth on your own.
You've convinced me. I think it's pretty cool.
Alright, so we got a cool legend. Jackson, how are you feeling about this guy?
I'm definitely in between legend and cool here. I'm gonna go high, though, I think, and go legend.
Okay, and I'm gonna go cool. I guess we'll bump it up, though. That's okay. Up next here, we have the Ashira Yashiki.
The foot, or is he a giant?
It's a giant. It's
is
a
this
giant
a giant,
foot.
or is this a foot that emerges from your ceiling?
Yeah, it's a giant foot that appears. It's because your room is stinky or some shit.
Very funny.
I love the Japanese.
Yeah. This is a Zelda dungeon enemy if I've ever seen one.
For real.
Yeah, this is if the fucking wall master stopped fucking around. Freaky wall master.
Freaky out wall master.
I'm thinking okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
Alright,
I say
perfect, sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, up next here. Why did it didn't appear on here? What? Okay, whatever, fuck it. Alright, up next here.
Nico, you're a fucking retard, stupid idiot. You fucked up the tier list.
I think it's because of the little tilde over the A. I think that's what fucked it up. I don't think the tier list liked that very much. Either way, we have the Atahasia.
That's some Inuit bullshit.
Yeah, exactly, it is.
This looks pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, it's a big old creature that fucking preys on you. It's like a cannibal thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a cannibal thing. It eats other ones of itself?
No, it was a human at one point.
Oh, so it's like a Wendigo, except it looks like it's from the Arctic Ocean.
Yeah.
I like that it has a Fu Manchu. I'm gonna say cool.
I think it's a fucking catfish.
I'm also going to say cool.
I'm going to say
it's
legend.
pretty cool, too. And it sounds like there is no debate on that one. Perfect. Also, just a disclaimer. If I get any information on any of these things wrong, fuck you. No, I didn't. Up next, we've got the Bannock.
Huh.
This is
just a homeless person.
Yeah, it's just a fucking like goblin or whatever who likes to take baths in your home.
That sounds inconvenient. Lowest tier.
Yeah, I'll say forgettable.
Dude, I think he's okay.
I don't know if I'd go that high.
Definitely, I'm going it. Yeah.
You'll balance out there then. I think he's fun. Alright, next we have the Banshee.
I don't like the way this thing is staring into my soul. I have a guttural reaction to this one. Banshees are fucking terrifying.
Are Banshees human ghosts, or are they their own thing?
I believe they're just ghosts. They're aboriginal spirits.
They're Irish, for one.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, dude.
You know, Banshees, I think that it could go either way. There are many different stories for them.
Okay.
You know, they're out there, they scream in the night, they give you a fright. I think Banshees are pretty cool.
I say legend, personally. I'm terrified of them, but I still think they're a cool concept.
They inspired a pretty mid-ass Mortal Kombat character. So
I thought you were going to say X-Men.
Personally, I'm saying okay.
Alright,
Damn.
sounds like they're going, okay then.
That is a menacing image, though.
Alright, here's the Basilisk.
Forgettable.
I remember having this like cryptid book in middle school, and it had the basilisk in there, except the way the basilisk was drawn was like a bipedal lizard with, I think, a rooster head.
Oh,
Well,
that's
see-
the cockatrice.
When I think of a basilisk, I don't think of a snake. I think of a lizard. Are they not traditionally lizards?
You're
Dude.
thinking of the actual real-life lizard called the basilisk lizard.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
In Dark Souls, they look similar to that, Dylan, but they have big-ass goofy eyes that aren't actually eyes. They're just like a fucking defense mechanism thing to make you scared or whatever. I know the lore. Fuck you. Where are we putting this guy?
I'll say cool.
Okay.
Forgettable.
Damn.
That's brutal, Jackson. Oh my god.
For a basilisk?
Can't they usually turn you to
Lame.
stone by looking at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
Okay. I'll say okay.
Okay. I'm also thinking okay. It's kind of a big lizard. All right, up next here we have the Centaur.
I don't know why you...
How are we feeling about the Centaur?
You know what's hilarious is now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen any show or movie portray a centaur as a woman. It's always been a man.
You gotta watch Monster Musume.
I guess so, dude.
I don't know, man. Centaurs are kind of lame.
I
I'm
think
not
they're
super
kind of
into
cool, honestly. I'm going cool.
Cool. I'm with Tanner here. I think they're very eh.
I'll say
I
okay.
think, I like looking at them from like a combat perspective, where they're basically just like the condensed version of a horseback rider.
Yeah.
My
True,
thing
I
is there any media that has a really cool depiction of a centaur?
Yeah, dude, Monster
Percy
Musume.
Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
That is an argument in favor of me, Dylan. Sorry.
Damn it, Tanner, why can't you see things the way I do?
Okay, fantastic. We'll put him there then. All right, up next we have Cerberus.
Cerberus is cool.
Yeah, I think Cerberus is pretty sweet. All right, additional disclaimer here real quick for the people at home. Look, there are a lot of mythical creatures out there, and a lot of this shit is just the same thing again. Like, a fucking Orthos is just a two-headed dog. I'm not gonna fucking include that, okay? I'm not gonna include your fucking ox that doesn't have legs. Die. Anyway, Cerberus, I think is fucking sweet. I'm gonna put him in Legend.
I will
I'm
also
going
put
there as
Legend.
well.
Nice.
Fantastic.
I'm sticking with cool.
Okay.
I will
think-
say, addendum to Nico's statement just then, we are doing the 5 dozen different versions of Bigfoot.
God damn it.
Which
Yeti
also
and all.
reminds me, China, please figure out more creatures that aren't just a thing that's also a dragon. All of your shit is just a dragon. I didn't want to include all of it. Speaking of which, here's Chow Fang.
Fucking
Dude,
peacock
it's like
dragon?
a bird, but a dragon.
Yeah, it's like a rooster that's a dragon.
It's like
That's
transparent.
crazy.
What was that, Jackson?
Does it
It
do
looks
anything?
like it's transparent.
Yeah, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, actually.
Oh.
Oh, awesome.
Fucking, for the, specifically, going back to China, for all of the Chinese shit, all of the art was nothing but this specific Yu-Gi-Oh archetype. That's all that was popping up for it.
Awesome.
Very funny. Does it do anything neat? Do you have any lore for this thing?
Dude, it's another fucking dragon. I don't know what else to say about it.
I'm gonna say eh.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think I'll go okay as well.
I can agree with okay.
I think Western dragons are dramatically cooler than Eastern ones, but Eastern ones do have much cooler representations in media.
True.
I could potentially see that. Alright, here we have Charybdis.
Is it not Charybdis?
Oh.
I don't fucking care. Additional addendum, I don't care about the pronunciation.
I'm just trying to... That's how I've always heard it, I'm sorry. I think Charybdis is pretty... Isn't Charybdis just supposed to be some fucking living whirlpool? Is it not actually? I thought it wasn't actually a monster.
It's a big monster that can make a whirlpool.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking, I don't know. I think Charybdis is cool. I forgot that Charybdis is like a thing and not some like child lolly or whatever, because that's how Smite decides to depict them.
I love that Smite did that. That's fucking badass. I'm also putting in cool.
I'm gonna put it in legend.
I'm also going legend.
Okay. There we go. Getting lots of nice Greek representation there. All right, up next we have the Chimera.
I'm kind of tired of the. I never thought that Chimera was hot shit. It's just, it's not. It's overused and underutilized. I'm gonna say eh.
That's fair. I'm also going eh.
Too basic.
I'm actually gonna go godly. I really fuck with chimeras.
Oh,
there we go.
God. All right, we can bump them up to okay. All right. Hang on.
I will
Actually,
say-
3 of us said eh. Fuck you, Tanner.
Damn.
I will say, I am kind of considering all forms of chimera, not just the, goat, lion, snake one.
Yeah.
Dude, ever since Full Metal Alchemist, I just can't like chimeras anymore.
Dude, that's why it's in godly.
That's understandable.
All right. Here we have the Chindi. This is another Native American spirit sort of thing that brings about tornadoes.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
I can't even really tell what
I
I'm
thought that was an
looking at
Eastern
here.
Island head. I was very concerned.
It looks like Voldemort emerging from a tornado.
Yeah.
So, it's the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's exactly it.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
All right.
I'll say okay as well.
I think it's cool. I think it looks kind of neat.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, it'll be okay. All right, here we have the cockatrice.
What the fuck?
Cockatrice. Cockatrice. I don't fucking know. It's a bird.
Lame.
It's a dragon, but a rooster.
Yeah. Jackson, it can freeze you. It can turn you to stone, just like the basilisk.
Don't care.
Oh, okay.
Can they breathe fire too?
I'm sure in some depictions they can.
I think, isn't the cockatrice the thing for Good Mythical Morning? That's their little mascot, and it makes the fire with their logo.
I've never watched them before. It's hard to say.
Fair enough. I'm gonna say forgettable. It's
Oh my
fucking
god.
whatever.
I think it's cool.
This seems Scottish to me. It strikes me as Scottish.
I'll say okay.
Alright, fine. Yeah, we'll go okay then. Alright, here we have a Cyclops.
Cyclopses are kind of whatever.
I like this little guy on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah,
Love
look
that
at
little
him.
guy.
I like Dylan's frame of mind here. I'm also thinking
I agree.
Fantastic.
I actually like Cyclopses, and I like that they were brought about by, people getting fucked over by, elephant skulls. I'm gonna say cool.
Listen,
you would
dude.
like the Cyclops, dude.
Cyclopses are just giants with one eye, alright?
Yeah.
And that's enough for Tanner, I suppose. Alright, up next, we've got Eastern Dragons.
Cool, I guess.
They're whatever, dude.
I'm fine with them, but it's like you said earlier, there's just so fucking many of them.
I think they're cool. Yeah, they might be a little bit too much exposure, but I think they're rad.
I agree.
I'm going legend. I think they're fucking sweet.
Okay.
I'm going okay.
Sounding like okay or cool, I mean. Sound like cool it is then.
Yeah.
Alright, now we have Western dragons.
Fucking godly, bro. I fucking love dragons. Dragons are peak.
Dude,
These things are fucking base, dude. I love real dragons.
American
godly.
dragon Jake Long? Hell yeah.
Dragons are sweet.
Well, that's obviously an Eastern dragon, Dylan. Come on.
It's a little. They mix a little bit of both in their Tanner. Let's be real.
Dragons are so cool. I can't get enough of them. Alright, Dolahan.
Dolahan. Why do I recognize?
It's a headless horseman.
It's
Dolans
a
are
woman.
kind of fucking raw. I'm going legend.
Is it just like the story of the Headless Horseman, but in Japan? And also woman?
No, it's the Dolahan is just like the story of the headless horseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just from the same fucking anime as that centaur chick earlier.
This is Monster Musume again.
Oh.
I'll just say okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that the Headless Horseman was like a reoccurring creature or anything.
And I think they're fucking sick.
I think it's pretty badass. I'll go legend on him.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds like legend it is then. Alright, up next here, we've got Echidna, the mother of all monsters in Greek mythology.
Is that? Huh. Wait. Oh, mother of all monsters. Never mind.
Yeah.
Are there any other depictions? This looks fucking gay.
This is from ReZero.
Yeah, it's from ReZero. This is Echidna.
What the
from
fuck?
ReZero.
I'm going forgettable.
What?
Mother of all monsters, huh? I'll say
I do
legend.
like the character in ReZero, but that's not who we're rating here, so I'm gonna go okay, I guess, or even honestly.
I'm thinking legend. I think she's pretty rad.
Yeah.
I like the way she murders Subaru repeatedly.
Subaru?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a car.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious.
She cleaves it in twain.
Alright, so it sounds like we're balancing out to about cool then, I suppose.
I think we're balancing out to okay.
Fine.
Damn.
We can do that. Alright, here's an elf.
Honestly,
How do we feel about elves, boys?
elves are just okay in most cases.
I think they're cool. I like because a lot of media gets to use them in interesting ways where they write around their normally pretty unique magic systems for the media. There's a lot of like ageism stuff they can do with it, and just their longevity. I think they're cool vehicles for worlds, so I think cool.
Okay.
I think elves are fucking cringe. I like classical elves where they're just mischievous little cretins, but like Lord of the Rings style elves, I'm like, who gives a fuck? I'll go
Dude, I'm kind of with Tanner here. I'm not a huge elf guy. I think they are kind of just fucking lame. It's just a fucking pointy-eared dude, alright? I think I'm gonna go okay. I feel like that's
17 free run and it shows.
Dude,
Listen,
I
dude.
actually started watching Freerun this weekend. I started you're gonna feel a little vindicated by this, Jackson. Start watching the English dub for it. Generally, I think all the voices totally fine. They match the characters perfectly. Except for Freerun. I don't
do
like
not
her
like
voice.
Freerun.
She
like
sounds
generic
too
white woman.
mature, you know? She's just like a woman.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of her voice at all in English.
Yeah.
Freerun
kind
is
of
the
a
one
bummer.
exception, dude. That's why I said in most cases.
I think there's plenty of cases where elves are quite cool and well utilized.
Jackson's gonna fucking love Legolas once we get to Lord of the Rings. Alright, here's the Fatch.
Okay.
It has
This
more.
is
It has a
just-
longer name. Why the fuck does it just say Fatch there? The Fatchin. Okay.
Where's the rest of them?
This is just fucking Oro from Street Fighter Third Strike.
Yeah.
He's like a goblin with one arm and one leg. What the fuck is going
Yes.
on here?
He's a little Cyclops guy. He's very mischievous. He likes to fucking beat you with his mace. His big old flail he's got there.
I mean, the fact this guy is just Oro is doing a lot of heavy lifting for me. I'm gonna go cool.
Okay.
I love Oro. He's fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'll say
Forgettable.
okay. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think he's okay as well.
Isn't the lore of Oro in Street Fighter that he's He's like a Nagasaki survivor or something.
Potentially. I'm not entirely sure. I just know he likes training a whole lot, and that's why he's all fucked up now. Alright, here's a gargoyle.
The fuck is its wings?
I don't know.
A child hasn't been born yet.
Yeah, I guess they don't always need one.
They're okay.
I thought gargoyles always had wings. I thought that was like half their shtick.
Were gargoyles ever actually intended to be like a thing, or are they just like, we're just gonna make creatures to put on our buildings?
It's hard to say.
Like, is there actual lore behind them, or were they just... Is their inception as something to look at on the corner of a building?
I think there are going to be a lot of forums and groups online you can find where they have a lot of deep lore associated with gargoyles, and they just fucking love these guys. I think they're probably pretty cringe, though, and that none of it's actually true. So, I'm gonna say... they're okay, I guess.
I'll say they're okay. They're kind of... They don't show up super often, so it's kind of hard to judge them.
I'll go
Okay. Sounds like okay it is then. Alright, here's a Garuda.
Garuda, huh? This is just a bird man?
Dude, he's an extension of Shiva himself.
I was gonna try and remember the name of the bird people from Zelda so I could make that joke, but it's just not coming to me.
Damn. Unfortunate.
The Rafi? I can't.
I think that's just the name of the guy.
God. Well, oh well. So it's a dude with wings. Is this just like the Aztecs somehow have the Icarus story?
This is Hindu, dude.
Oh, okay. Is this somehow just the Hindus have the Icarus story?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not like an actual dude with wings. He's a fucking like aspect of God. He's like a really strong dude who fights people.
Okay. I'll say okay.
I'll say cool.
I think he looks cool too, Dylan. Alright, and here's the Gashadokuro. He is a giant skeleton.
Godly.
Legend.
I think there's something insanely intimidating about the thought of just a massive fucking skeleton who wants to murder you.
Yeah, in that case, I'll put legend. Why not?
I'll go godly as well.
There we go.
Fantastic. I love the big skeleton. That's fucking funny.
And he loves you.
Alright, here's a ghoul.
What the fuck even is a ghoul? I don't know if there's like an accurate description of what a ghoul is.
Tokyo ghouls are very different from the classical interpretation of them. Most of the time, they're kind of just some, like, creepy fucking gaunt thing that wants to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there
like...
even, like, a really well-established definition of what a ghoul is? I always interpreted it as, like, a generic
monster
word that,
or
like, means
something.
creature.
Yeah, like ghosts. Like, ghosts is generic as well. Like, you hear ghosts and ghouls.
Ghouls and goblins. I like the word ghoul, though. So
I think ghoul is very fun. Describing something as ghoulish.
Cool.
I'll say cool, but, you know, not fully understanding what a ghoul is, I guess.
Okay.
I'm saying cool because I am counting them as Tokyo Ghoul ghouls.
I thought you were gonna say
Cool as
cool
well.
because it rhymes with ghoul.
Oh, there you go.
Too ghoul for school.
Dude, you're so real for that.
Here's a goblin.
Man, honestly though, fuck goblins.
Dude, honestly though, legend. I fucking love goblins.
I'm not gonna say forgettable because goblins are used way too much in a lot of different forms of media to be forgettable. I'll say like okay, because in some cases they're pretty cool, in other cases they're fucking annoying as shit.
I'm saying legend, honestly. I think they're very versatile creatures. Plus, like, just the idea of giving them some amount of intelligence and coordination really does make them quite a threatening enemy in a lot of instances.
Yeah. I'm thinking legend here as well, much like Jackson said. Incredibly versatile creatures. You can plug them into fucking any story, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a fucking goblin. And, you know, just... Dylan, have you seen Goblin Slayer?
Do I? No, there's a specific reason why I haven't watched Goblin Slayer. We discussed it recently.
The first scene of Goblin
let's
Slayer
check it out real quick here and get back to your opinion on Goblin
I think it's crazy how we all four of us had the same fucking thought process, but we came to different conclusions based on the same thought process. This is insane.
It's what makes the tier list interesting, dude. All right, here's a Gorgon.
I forgot that Gorgons are like actually their own thing, and it's not just Medusa.
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
I think they're pretty cool. The concept of like snake people. Now, let me pose a question here, boys. Legs or no legs? Like what when you think of a Gorgon, do you think of like a snake like a centaur situation where the upper is a person, or like, you know, what are you thinking?
Boy, let me tell you what. As long as there's a pussy, it don't matter.
That's what Jackson
Generally,
likes.
when I think of a Gorgon, it's like 50-50. Either or.
Okay.
I agree with cool.
Fantastic. Cool it is. All right, next here, Griffin.
Honestly, though, Griffin's legendary. Love those little guys.
I agree with Legend. I think Griffins are based.
They're
They're
just
pretty big.
They just simplify the Chimera in a way to where it just, I don't know, it's better.
I do think Griffins are pretty cool. I'm just gonna say cool though.
I'm also going just cool, Jackson, but you know, we'll pump it up for you guys. Why not? All right, here's a
Hell
harpy.
yeah.
Hold on, zoom in.
We need to see the details real quick. There we go.
That's Poppy.
Yeah, it's Poppy.
See, I don't like the harpies where their arms are their wings, but I don't know if they're not their arms, if they're still a harpy is the problem.
Yeah, I feel like their arms being wings is a pretty common interpretation.
I like the idea of like a humanoid creature that nevertheless is a scavenger. I think that's pretty neat. Like they're eating carcasses and shit. So I'm gonna go cool.
Okay.
I'm saying cool as well. They also, in a lot of interpretations, are kind of just like on-ground flying sirens as well.
True. Yeah, I'll agree with cool.
Fantastic.
dislike 'em.
Sounds like we are unanimous in cool. Hang on a second.
Has that ever happened?
What the fuck? All right, here's the Hundun.
When I was looking at the initial preview of this, prior to us getting to it, I thought it was Poshita.
So this is the Hindu embodiment of chaos.
It looks like it, dude. What the fuck am I looking at?
Dude, it's Hindu? That's crazy. I recognize it from Shang-Chi.
In the Seven Rings?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. This thing's okay.
Is it the 7? I'm pretty sure it's 10 rings. Anyway, yeah, I think this thing's fucking sick. I'm gonna go godly.
I think it's funny. I'm gonna say, cool, I guess.
I'll go legend for me. I think he's very fun. Dylan, where'd you put him?
I said okay.
Bullshit, dude. I'll stick him in legend then. All right,
that's fine.
Here's the Hydra.
Fucking Hydras, dude. Godly. I love these things. These things are so fucking cool.
I agree. I'm gonna say godly. Hydra is just like a perfect concept for like a fantasy monster executed to perfection.
And I like how in media they keep the whole cutting off its head makes more heads. They always keep that the same in most forms of media, but they still find a way to alter them just a little bit, you know? It makes it really cool and versatile.
I'll say legend. I think they're cool too, but not like all the way.
Unfortunately, I think they're godly as well here, alright? They're fucking badass. Big fan of the Hydra. Alright. Kappa.
Kappas.
Ooh.
Where are we falling on
Dude.
these little guys?
I think they're cool. I think Smite Exposure made me like them a little bit more. I didn't like them at first, but you know, Kappas are good in my book. Especially when he hits the Nene.
Kappas are such funny little freaks. I'm gonna give them cool.
Okay.
I think they're okay.
Okay. Call me Japan pilled or whatever you want to. I think Kappas are kind of godly, okay? Much like goblins, they're very versatile. You can do a lot with them. They can either just be like a cute little funny guy, or they can be like a fucking terrifying creature that you need to contend with. Also, they like stick their arm up your butt to grab a little orb. That's fun.
Oh. Interesting.
I guess he can
Not
go
my orb.
cool though.
Yeah, not my orb.
That's fine. Alright, here's the Kilmulus.
So, as God's chosen people, I of course have to put them in godly.
Yeah.
What? Am I missing something here? What the
Jackson,
fuck?
what are your thoughts?
This looks like my dad.
Oh my god. This just looks like a humanized version of Pinocchio, dude.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the origin of this creature is they're the things that guard Hitler's grave to make sure no one tries to resurrect him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they're cool. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna go
I
cool
assume-
as well.
I assume these things just, like, go into your house and, like, move your furniture around or some bullshit like that,
Yeah, they
right?
just do
No,
some
those are
dumb
house
bullshit like
elves.
that. They're another fucking Eastern European thing.
Yeah, I'll say cool.
Alright, fantastic.
I mean, that's definitely, like, am I wrong about what they are, though, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, I think that you're on point there. Here's a Kieran.
dude. I thought these were like lightning serpent horses, but I remember now there's also a fire variation of these. Honestly, I don't remember how I came about knowing these, but I think Kierans are fucking awesome. I'm gonna say godly for these as well.
I'm saying legend. I think Karens are fucking badass.
Kieran's
Oh,
are
yeah.
I'm
really
gonna go
fucking
legend,
cool.
too, just based on this, picture. It looks fucking sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
Kieran's are fucking rad. I think I'm gonna join Dylan up in godly for him though, so we
Hell
can
yeah.
bump him
I'm
up
pretty
there.
sure Dylan said cool.
I for
Did
sure
he?
said godly.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, never mind.
All good.
All right, here's a Kitsune. Dylan, you love these guys,
Godly,
right?
godly. Fucking love kitsunes. Foxes, Ninetales, original first favorite Pokemon. No debate.
Original childhood crush.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, Alolan Ninetales, even better.
Certified lever boy, certified pedophile.
Dude.
I'm gonna go
I
don't
think they're
even do
cool.
anything.
I think is a little too mean.
I think a piece
I'm
of me
going
just
legend.
died.
I think they're sweet.
Okay.
Dude, you love kitsunes because you love fucking Yay Miku.
I do love fucking Yay Mika, dude. I wish.
Yeah.
Only.
Hachimama.
All right,
Oh
here's
my
the
God.
Colton King.
I feel like I've seen
this
this
thing's
somewhere
fucking
before.
sweet.
Where the fuck is this from?
Yeah, what region is this?
This one is a fucking. I think that this one's Slavic or some shit like that.
That somehow checks out. I don't know why it does. It just does. Like, how would this thing move? Like, is it a centipede-like movement?
Is
like,
this what the thing from the ritual was supposed to be?
No, the ritual was a Jotun.
Oh, okay.
wasn't the? I thought it was a deer. That would have been not important.
I'm
think
gonna
this is
go
cool.
legend. This thing looks fucking sweet.
This thing is really fucking cool. I'm a fan. I think I'll go legend for it too.
Here we go.
I'm just going cool.
Okay. Sounds like a legend it is. All right, here we have a Lamia.
Zoom in.
The fuck's the difference between a lamia? Wait, are they trying to imply that those could be legs? Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Eyes.
implying that's a pussy.
They do this. This character does have a vagina. If that raises any point here.
Why would? I don't want to ask
Why
questions. I
wouldn't
don't
it,
want
dude?
answers to.
I want to fuck the snake lady. What is not clear about this?
I would bone the shit out of this snake
here's-
lady. I want to get fucking strangled to death by her.
Here was my like argument from earlier. This to me is just another Gorgon. To be completely honest, there's a wide spectrum
enough.
of it. That's my problem
Does this
here.
thing have elf ears? Zoom in.
I think
I
maybe
Yeah, they're
like,
pretty long.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. That hurts it severely.
that's
I hate
fair,
elves
honestly.
so much. Fuck elves.
I'll say legend. I guess does that put? I don't remember what I put the fucking Gorgons at. I think I also put Gorgons in legend. No, I put them in cool. Fuck it, put them in cool.
I'm gonna say
I'm
okay.
gonna go okay.
Oh,
I'm
there's a go
I'm
can.
saying cool. If I was ranking it on if I want to fuck them, I'd put legend, but I'm not. So I'm saying cool.
Fair enough.
Jackson, is it because of this anime that you know these details?
Oh, dude, I've read so much more than just the anime
God
about these
damn,
things.
Jesus
The unfortunate
Christ.
part about them is that their whole shtick is they try to look hot so they can eat you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Speaking of looking hot so it can eat you, here's the Makara.
Yeah, nose is so weird. It's got like a little elephant trunk.
Yeah. It's just a dreadful beast all around.
It's like a fucking skull crusher.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks like a skull crusher. Dude, it actually looks like if you took a skull crusher but made it out of a fucking elephant and a crocodile. That's what this is.
It literally just looks like some Africans were like, what if there was an animal out there that's every animal that kills us combined?
Wait, yeah, no, because it's got the tusks of an elephant in the trunk. It's got fucking rhino horns as well. Crocodile mouth,
It's got
Jesus.
like a tiger eye.
Good
or
God.
A lion, rather, sorry.
Either or, dude. Oh my gosh, this thing
I
is...
think this thing's pretty cool. I don't like those little, what appear to be toes sticking out of its side, but other than that, I think it's pretty cool.
Dude,
I'm gonna go
those are-
legend.
Those are just extra elephant feet. I don't like the amalgamation, honestly. It can be an amalgamation, it just needs to look better. I'm gonna say okay.
I'm gonna say okay as well.
I think I'm also going okay for it. Alright, up next, Manticore.
Oh, hell yeah. Another upgrade to the Chimera.
I agree with Dylan. I think this is a strict upgrade. I'm thinking legend for this guy here.
I'll say legend as well.
What I rated Griffins.
I think you
I
may have
think you
gone
said
legend for it.
Legend.
I'll take your word for it. I don't think I did, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
That's
feel
where I'm
like-
putting it. I think they're very similar.
I'm gonna go cool.
Okay.
Manticores normally have like magic and shit they use as well.
They can use magic and they're goated for that. I feel like Manticore is like, alright people, the Chimera wasn't a success, what can we do to make this better? And they're like, remove a head and use different animals. And this is their byproduct.
Yeah.
Goated decision.
Well, fantastic. I'm happy you landed so high. How do we feel about the merfolk?
I think the concept is cool, but like they give me such bad uncanny valley. I don't enjoy their presence at all, and most of the time they eat humans, whether they're sirens or not. I still
I
think
think
they're
merfolk
cool.
in general are kind of lame. I'm gonna say
I'll say cool. They're very versatile. This is the whole versatile debate where they can be good, but when they're evil, they're fucking creepy as hell.
I think I agree with Tanner on I think you can potentially do some cool stuff with them in a story or something, but like it's just so hard when like their whole society is underwater and it's like, well, I mean, how the fuck do we get there? Okay, like, well, what are we supposed to do about that? I can't go underwater. I can't breathe down there. Jackson, what did you say about them?
I agree with
Fantastic.
Damn.
All right, how about the Minotaur? Look at his fucking JoJo pose he's striking here.
What is this
What's up with
fucking
that?
image?
This
dude?
is the worst version of a Minotaur I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't like this.
He's so menacing.
Not.
I think the Minotaur is just okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think they're anything crazy.
I think it's so funny that it's such a big and foreboding character that emits such peon energy for some reason when it's depicted in media. I'll also say okay.
Peon energy. Jesus.
Listen, dude, you run into a fucking Minotaur, that's fodder, dude. It's fodder.
Okay, he goes. All right, here's the Navanjara.
Forgettable.
Some
Yeah, this is fucking stupid.
This is a
Whack
worse
ass
version of a
Chimera.
fucking Chimera.
Yeah, I think it's forgettable as well.
There we go. We finally
Lame.
got one in Forgettable.
There we go.
For better or for
Take
worse,
that,
I felt like we
India.
weren't gonna get it. Jesus.
All right, here's the Noken.
Oh no. Did not like this one.
Yeah, so this is like the Irish siren, but they target women instead.
Is that why they call it a knocker?
I guess so.
Or a knocker, whatever. That was supposed to be a joke, I get it.
How do they lure in women?
Much like sirens, they play music.
Oh, that's stupid.
But, like, every fucking image is this sort of shit for it. It's very ominous and foreboding.
They only target monster fuckers.
Yeah.
I
I think they look
it's
kind of
cool.
rad. I enjoy them a decent bit. I think they're cool.
I'll
Dude,
say cool as
I'm
well.
gonna say
It has to
Okay.
mean something if it triggers my fight or flight instinct and it's just a fucking picture. That says something.
Yeah. Dylan, did you say cool as well?
Yeah, I also said cool.
Awesome. Fuck you, Tanner. Okay,
Whoa.
here's the Nukalavi. Hang on, it might be
Seems
longer
pretty
than that. Where the fuck is it? Okay, never mind. It's just Nucalavi. I don't know why there are the fucking ellipses there.
Dude, this
So
is
it's
like
a man fused to a horse, but they're both skinned.
Yeah,
Is this Native American?
I think so. Yeah.
They love this type of shit.
I'm gonna say okay, but this is like some shit you'd see on Attack on Titan, if I'm gonna be real.
Dude, this is making me think about how I just got Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy. This thing looks pretty rad. I'm gonna go Legend.
Okay, that's pretty high there. I'm thinking just cool for me.
Oh, I'm saying okay.
All right, fantastic. Sounds like cool it is.
Yeah.
Okay, here's an ogre.
Eh.
I'll say okay. Ogres are kind of generic, to be completely honest. They're kind of everywhere. I'm surprised you didn't use a picture of Shrek, to be honest.
Oh yeah, they're very generic. I agree. I think I'm going eh.
I'm gonna go okay.
Okay. Sounds like okay he is. Alrighty, here's an Oni.
Ooh. Okay. I have been recorded in the past to say Onis are my favorite. Like, Oni characters are typically my favorite. Not particularly this depiction of them, but I still think they're cool regardless. I'm gonna say Legend for this specific design. Or, like, interpretation of them.
Yeah, I think Onis are fucking badass. I'm a big fan of Onis. I'm with Dylan here. I think that they're legends.
I agree, I like Onis.
I think I'm gonna go cool.
Cool? Just cool, Tanner. For shame, dude. Whatever. He's sticking in legend. Alright, here's a Pegasus.
Honestly,
Forgettable.
Dude, fucking
Pegasus
forgettable. I hate them. Fuck off.
Pegasus is the gay version of Griffin, I'm gonna be honest.
Real. You're so
True.
fucking real for that. How can one man be right so often?
I'm gonna go okay. I don't hate it as much as you guys.
I'll say eh.
God damn it, Dylan. Fine, it can go in eh. Okay, here's a Phoenix.
Godly.
Phoenix
There's
are badass.
no
dude.
contender when it. This probably top of my list for favorite mythological creature ever. Phoenixes are so fucking badass.
What's great is they don't even really do shit. Like the concept in its barest form is it's just a bird who can rebirth itself.
Yeah.
But like the potential that they have is endless, dude. Like they can use magic, they can be huge, they can be tiny.
Well, those aren't like those are just like different interpretations or whatever. The purest form of it is just a bird that happens to be able to like rebirth.
But it is a fire bird nonetheless.
Usually, I don't know that that's even the case. I think.
Also,
I think,
Tanner,
whatever.
consider its name is cool.
Yeah.
Its name is very cool, and also the name of the state capital of Arizona.
Hell yeah, brother.
Do I want to go legend or godly though?
I think you should go godly because I said godly and I want it to be in godly.
Personally, I'm just saying legend.
I'm
God
also
damn it.
saying legend.
I'm also saying legend.
There
Damn.
it is.
Oh,
There
well.
it is. Alright, here's a Pugwudgie.
Pugwudgie? Is this another Native American?
Yeah. He's a he's like a porcupine man.
I don't.
This seems like something that one like African tribe made up as like a racist caricature of a different tribe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
This is like 2000 BC's Soy Jack.
Bruh. Dude, I said Native American out loud, but in my head I was like, this looks like some shit from Africa.
It's one or the other. I don't remember which one. I'm going forgettable for him.
I'm saying eh.
I'm saying okay.
Jesus. Dylan, where are you going?
I said eh.
Okay. It is, I suppose. Alright, here's a Xiangqi.
Why does it have to have two different... Why do the wings have to be different? Why? Why can't it just be congruent? Unless it's just the underside.
I was gonna be pretty meh on it, but then I saw that its head is like a bull that's also a tiger or whatever, and that's really fucking cool.
It's pretty rad.
So I think that's gonna bump me up to cool.
If it makes you feel any better, Dylan, I think that this is like the underside of the wing and this is the top of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I think it's just that's the case. It just looks weird. Yeah, I like how this is what I was talking about with like the whole chimera debate. At least in this regard, they mashed together a bunch of animals, but at least it looks like it, it works. I agree with Tanner. I think the head's fucking kick ass, so I'll say cool.
Yeah, they're like fusing them together more seamlessly. It's not like you're just fucking slapping on random animal parts. Jackson, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I said it's cool.
Okay, radical. Yeah, we can go cool for it. Why not? All right, here's a rock.
Just a big bird is all it is.
It's just a really big bird. But like, look at the scale of this bird.
Rocks are very simple, but still, I think they're fucking badass. I love rocks. I'm gonna go godly.
I'm gonna say legend personally. They're not quite a phoenix,
I'm gonna say legend as well. I think there's something very neat about just some colossal bird out and about.
Yeah, I think I'll also go legend. Just once you get to a certain scale, it's like, oh my fucking god. Like, a cow isn't very impressive, but if it's like, this is a cow the size of Tennessee, then it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Just imagine you're out on a fun little hike, and then suddenly it's nighttime, and then suddenly you're dead.
Yeah.
Fair enough, dude.
Speaking of suddenly being dead, here's
oh my
fucking god damn it, why does it keep not giving me the full names? Rokubuki Kubi.
Fuck this, oh my god.
This is the fucking Eraserhead, baby.
Yeah.
I will say it's very striking, and I don't like it at all, so I guess I'll go legend.
There you go.
I'm gonna say okay. It has a reverse effect on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's okay.
No,
reminds me of like a character from fucking Little Nightmares or some shit.
Yeah, it's very evocative of that. I think I'm going cool, so we can stick her there.
Fair, dude.
Alright, here's Scylla.
Oh, this is a interesting depiction of Scylla.
This is an insane depiction. I've never seen it.
Does Scylla have multiple animals integrated into her?
Yeah, Scylla will normally have like heads of dogs and shit in there.
Oh, interesting.
That's right. I forgot.
I'll say cool.
Honestly, out of Charybdis and Scylla, I like Scylla a lot more than Charybdis, and I think I put Scylla in Charybdis in Legend, so I'm gonna put Scylla in Godly because I really like Scylla.
I think I'm gonna be putting Scylla in Legend personally.
I'm saying cool. I'm a hater.
Okay, Legend it is then. Fuck you, Jackson.
Oh well.
Alright, I fuck these fucking names, god damn it. It's like a serpent leopard or some shit like that. Serpopard.
Fuck you, Windows.
I like the look more than the name. The name kind of ruins it, to be honest. It's just a tiger with a fucking snake neck.
Oh, it's a leopard
and a milk
with a
snake
snake neck.
Well, yeah, leopards have spots, and this thing's striped like a fucking tiger, so...
No, it's striped like a snake.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
I think the design is cool. That's about where it ends.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool as well.
I think it's funny how they gave it a milk snake design, but it's definitely a creature that can kill you.
Oh, dude, it can fucking murder you, like Jesus Christ. Okay, here's Shabara.
Dude, forgettable. I don't...
Yeah, do you think this thing's you think you could forget seeing this thing?
Here's the fucking double-edged sword with this tier list, is you made a forgettable tier, but, like, if it's really as abhorrent as we're looking at, like, yeah, I'm not gonna forget this thing exists, but, like, honestly, I'd much rather prefer that I did.
So, is that a really tiny deer? And then...
I think this is, like, a normal-sized deer. I think it's just that big.
But
okay, so that's a normal-sized deer, but a giant cobra.
Yeah.
I don't know if that tracks, because are we... No, because that person has multiple arms. Never mind, that's not a human.
No,
is that
definitely
person
not.
down there supposed to be part of this mythological creature then?
No, I think he's just crushing them.
Yeah, it's just always curb stomping somebody.
It's a violent creature.
I just don't see how you're supposed to do anything with this, you know?
This is too much.
Why's it got the fucking sausage fingers from Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Why's it holding some fries?
I want to just edit do that one of those like Yas Girl edits on that thing where they put the like nail hands.
Oh, there you go.
You're real for that.
I don't know. I'm gonna go I think.
I really want to
agree.
see like a proper depiction of this because this is like the only fucking image I could find of this thing. I want to see like a proper like artist reinterpretation of it for like what the fuck this thing could possibly be.
You know, Nico,
Right.
your words spoke to me. This truly cannot be forgettable, so I'll put it in
There we go. I think
But
I'm gonna
just
say
know-
okay.
I wish I could.
It's an alright thing. Alright,
How did
fantastic.
3 as equal an okay?
I didn't hear what you said, Jackson. You need to speak up more.
I'm speaking my normal volume. You just ignore me.
I
Oh,
do
no.
ignore you because I don't remember what you end up saying. Or I just can't hear it. Look, it has a little tiny head up there too. What the fuck?
I glanced at that a couple
Interesting.
times.
Oh my god. Alright, here's a siren.
This has got to be the most terrifying variation of siren I've ever seen in my life.
They're spooky.
I prefer when they're hot.
Yeah, I like when they're like big busty water women like in Sinbad.
Yeah.
Well, here's like the issue is like this is probably their true form because I'm pretty sure they look attractive to like help with the guys. Not Guys, I mean Guise for those uncultured people out there.
And then they fucking murder you.
Yeah, they fucking eat you.
I'm gonna go okay.
I'll say cool.
I think I'm also going okay.
I think they're cool.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
We can bump them up then, why not? Alright, here's a skinwalker.
Ooh, dude, this shit blew up for a while over the past year. These things are super terrifying.
I like all of the like meta stuff about skinwalkers where it's like, why does the human brain trip when it sees something that's almost human?
Yeah.
You know? I think that stuff's pretty badass as sort of a lore implication or whatever you want to call it.
Implication.
Dude, my brain does
I'm
that all the time
gonna-
anyway.
Give it a solid, I'll go legend.
I
There we
think
go.
I can agree with Legend on him.
I would agree.
Okay. There we go. Fantastic. Alright, here's a skvatter. It's just a rabbit
okay.
with wings.
It's okay.
I'll go cool. I
Okay.
think it's funny.
I'll go forgettable. So we can go okay. Alright, how about the Sphinx?
It's a weird ass picture.
Am
I mean,
I
it's
wrong?
not like, you know, just the fucking sand-ass Sphinx. Like, they're supposed to be like a creature sort of thing.
Oh, I was
Oh, I
about to
know.
ask. Is it not supposed to just supposed to be some monument in Egypt? Is there?
No, yeah,
that
a
it-
Sphinx is like an actual creature.
Hmm.
Not like an actual creature, but like, you know, it's
Well,
a
no,
mythological creature.
I get that. I just, I
An
don't know.
actual mythological creature. Dylan, what is the answer to the Sphinx's riddle?
The answer. I wish I knew, dude.
I can't recite the whole riddle from the top of my head.
I was about to say I
so-
don't even know the Sphinx's riddle. So
I think you're just supposed to like shoot it or something, I think.
Or here, let me see if I can get it for you, Dylan. Dylan, in the morning I walk on 4 legs. In the afternoon I walk on 2, and in the evening I walk on 3. What am I?
morning walk on 4. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
A man, and then I eat you.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
You've been
wait,
devoured. Congratulations, Dylan.
I've heard that before. Where have I heard that before?
It's
From the
it's from
Sphinx.
everything. You heard it from the Sphinx, Dylan. I'm thinking legend for the Sphinx.
I think it's cool. I didn't know it
Okay.
was an actual mythological creature. I literally thought it was just a monument.
Oh
Why-
wait,
I
this
think
thing
it's
it was all the way down here. Where did we put it before? That's a cool. I think we put
remember.
in cool.
I think it was cool. Why? Like, I think the same could be said for a lot of mythological creatures on this list, but the Sphinx being more notable. Why have we not seen, at least as far as I'm concerned, why have we not seen a Sphinx in forms of media?
I think there's really only one story associated with it, and I think it's like fucking Alexander the Great or some shit. I don't even remember.
The Sphinx
Anyway, I'm
got
gonna go
some
cool.
pretty big representation. Like, I think it's Dragon's Dogma, the recent game for that, because they really yossified it, and people wanted to fucking come in it.
Oh, all right, yeah, that'll do it.
Hold on, I gotta look something up real quick.
I guess we can put in cool, though. That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Sounds good to me. Alright, how about Tanuki?
Those are just raccoon people, right?
Bro, still pronouncing it wrong to this day.
No, Jackson, you're the incorrect one here. Fuck you.
I literally hear Japanese people say Tanuki. I don't know what you want from me.
And I hear everyone else call it a Tanuki.
Unfortunately, they're Japanese, so I'm going to trust the source on this one.
Why does Nintendo call Tanuki Mario, huh?
Dude, must I be a raccoon to get inside your Tanuki?
Every time I hear the word Tanuki, I think of that exact line as well, Tanner.
Same, brother, same.
Dude, this Sphinx does not look hot. I was lied to.
People want to fuck
gosh.
it regardless, Tanner.
Jackson, I agree, though. Knowing what I know about the Japanese language, I can see it being Tanuki.
You're infecting this poor man, Jackson. What have you done to him?
He's the one learning Japanese.
Dude.
Anyways, they're really fucking forgettable.
Oh my god,
yeah.
what?
I mean,
they're come on.
They're just a fucking
You can't
raccoon.
put them in forgettable, what?
They're literally just a raccoon.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
Have you considered they have massive swinging testicles?
Yeah, they have massive testicles, bro.
I agree with Jackson.
Yeah, if they're not forgettable, they're literally just a fucking raccoon.
You guys are fucking high, oh my god.
The only
I'm
reason
gonna go
Tanuki...
Jesus Christ.
The only reason Tanukis
I
are...
mean, listen, it's just like, what if a Jew was a raccoon, you know?
The only reason they're popular is because Mario made them popular, let's be real.
That's also not true. They are a massive thing in Japan. Fine, it can go through whatever. Alright, how about a Tarasuke?
That looks
Dude, what?
fucking kick-ass. What?
This looks sci-fi. What is this from?
Dude, I don't remember.
Bummer. I mean, yeah, this thing looks fucking insane. I don't know how much I like it as a mythological creature, though, because it very much does just look like an alien from a sci-fi series.
Yeah.
But I'll go cool.
Yeah, it's
Honestly?
just like, it's just another fucking European thing.
I'm gonna say legend for me personally. I think this thing's fucking cool.
Okay. Dude, I think it's cool. We can toss it there, right? We can put in cool, yeah. Cool should
Depends
be fine.
on what Jackson says.
Yeah.
I already said mine. I said okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cool should be fine.
Cool
Alright, how about
versus-
Tatty Bogle?
The fuck is a tatty? Is it a scarecrow, man?
Yeah, it's a European scarecrow man.
Why the fuck does he look like Luffy?
They like straw hats for scarecrows, dude. Dude, he'll murder you. What do you mean,
Like 90% of this list can murder me. That does not change my answer.
This guy looks like he's about to, like, sing a song with a lot of racist lyrics.
I can see
He's literally
it, yeah.
blackface right now, Tanner. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tatty Bogle is a legend, personally.
What does he do?
He kills you.
The name is pretty legendary, I suppose.
I'll go cool, I guess.
Alright.
I'm also saying cool.
Alright. You can go cool.
Jesus.
All right.
Oh my god.
Here's a Tatzelworm.
It's a dragon cat?
Hey, it's a
Or-
cat
oh,
that's
it's not-
also a snake thing.
It's
See,
not
this
a...
is the second one we've done.
There's no
Yeah.
Y in worm. Never mind, it's not a dragon. I apologize. Dude, if I fucking saw this in my house, I think I'd freak the fuck out and then die.
I agree.
Oh my god.
If I saw this at your house, I'd be like, why am I at Dylan's house? And then I'd get killed by it.
I think it's
I think
cool.
it's cool.
It's got a
Oh.
cool design at least.
You both think it's cool, eh? Alright.
It's got
I think
massive
it's
fucking
cool.
chompers.
Oh,
Yeah, they-
Jackson also thinks it's cool.
They
Okay.
like took snake fangs and cat fangs and just combined them and made them fucking insane chompers. Look at them on that thing.
Oh yeah, look at that bad boy. Oh
That
my
is.
god.
Oh my god.
I want to pet it.
Same. I think it'd be pretty soft. All right, how about
Imagine if you
Tengu?
could tame it.
I think Tengus are cool.
Dude,
I
he
also
just
think
looks like a
Tengu's
man
cool.
in a mask. I'm gonna be real.
He is.
Scooby
I don't
Doo.
hate Tengus. I'll go cool.
Okay.
I'll say
So
okay.
you do hate Tengus.
Jackson, you also said cool.
Yeah, I also hate him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
I said
Tengus are
okay.
cool as well. We can pop them there. All right, here's a Thunderbird.
Dude. Thunderbirds are just rip-off phoenixes, but I still think phoenixes are pretty fucking cool.
I think they're a ripoff of a rock, personally.
I mean, you know, phoenixes can be big. I think it's hilarious how it's fucking beating the shit out of this orca. However,
It was a
one
very
plus it's
fun
got-
image. I don't think I would have included them if it weren't for this image.
I do like the aspect of lightning a lot. I think it's very cool in any mythological world, so I'm still gonna put it in fucking godly. I don't know what it is about big birds and having elements, but you know, that's my shtick, I suppose.
Unfortunately, I'm a Thunderbird purist, which means I recognize it's only called a Thunderbird because the flap of its wings sound like thunder. It can't actually summon lightning.
Tell that to this
it
image.
does seem hypocritical to put it below the rock,
Yeah.
but I think I'm still going to do that. I'll go legend.
Okay.
I'm also saying legend. I think it's neat. I like big birds.
I'll
Fair
say
enough,
cool
dude.
for it. Dylan, where'd you
It-
put them?
I said godly. I was about to say
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
going
okay.
cool, my guy.
Legend it is. Alrighty,
Hell yeah.
here's a Treant, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I like this depiction of them more. I hate when they're just trees with like branch limbs. I think that shit's stupid as fuck.
Like in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I like Lord of the Rings depiction of tree ants more. So in this case, I'm gonna say legend.
I think they're fucking lame. It's a tree.
I
He's
think
just-
they're okay.
He sees Big Root and is not impressed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eh.
There we
Damn.
go. Fantastic. We can move it up to okay though. Why not? All right. Here's a Tsuchinoko.
These are fun. I like them.
This is just a fat snake.
This isn't just a real animal.
No,
Okay.
it is. It's a Japanese cryptid.
Huh.
I think they're cool.
Yeah, they are just real fat snakes, but they can also jump really high.
That's fun.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say cool. I think that's adorable.
I'll say cool as well.
I'm gonna say he's a legend. Jackson, where'd you put him?
I said cool.
All right. There he can go then. All right, here's Typhon, the father of all monsters.
I think.
I think he solo as a kid now.
Yeah.
I mean, he usually does. That's how they make them. Anyway, I think I
Very
put Echidna in Legend as well, so I think it'd be a disservice to put this guy any lower than that.
Yeah, he's okay.
I think he's okay.
Damn.
I think it's a kick-ass design, personally.
I also go legend as well, so we can balance him out. Why not? All right.
Sick.
Here's a unicorn.
That's not a unicorn, that's a lolly.
The greatest unicorn of all, some would say.
Unicorns are lame as fuck. They're forgettable.
I also think unicorns are really fucking lame. I don't like them at all.
I'll say forgettable as well.
Yeah. We put Pegasus in forgettable, I'm pretty sure, and those fuckers are cooler than unicorns.
We didn't even put him there. Where the fuck did the Pegasus go? And
Right
you
there.
pieces of shit, you motherfuckers didn't get him in fucking forgettable. I hate you.
I'm
Whatever.
gonna put the unicorn in eh.
It's going forgettable this time, Tanner, you piece of shit.
Overruled.
All right, here's
Oh
the
my God.
Ushioni.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. I'll say cool. I don't think I like it enough for it to be legend.
Okay.
Does it do anything interesting?
It's a giant bull spider demon. It murders you.
Like I
I'll
said,
go okay.
90% of this list can kill me.
I mean, that's 90%. That's their purpose.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say cool. I think it's neat looking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also thinking cool. I think he's a pretty neat guy.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, up next here we've got the Wendigo.
That's Wendigo.
I thank you. I appreciate it. Godly.
Oddly enough, I know a little bit more than I should about Wendigos. I think their creation is kind of whack. I'll say legend. I don't think they're godly, but I think the native... I don't know if it's a Native American story that I know or not. Like, their story's supposed to be if you consume flesh on a mountain and the Wendigo spirit inhabits the mountain, it opens a door to possess your body or something. That's all I know. They're fucking immortal or something.
I'll go godly.
There we go. Very happy to hear it. All right, how about the werewolf?
They're okay.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy going on there.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll go cool.
All right.
Werewolves are also something where, like, they have not been serviced well by the media depicting them.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that, because I was also going to say overused, underutilized yet again.
We all saw Waxwork.
I'll say okay.
Fantastic.
Borderline uncool.
Okay, it is. All right, final one here. Yuki-onna.
They're cool. Literally.
What's her deal?
She is a spirit of the mountains who is an ice lady. She's like an ice witch person.
Oh, okay. She's the fucking... I think she's called Yuki from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yuki does just mean snow.
She's what Jinx is based off of.
Gotcha.
That's not true.
I'll say okay.
Okay.
I'll say okay as well.
Oh,
Surprised vampires were not on this list.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Chupacabra wasn't on this list.
dude, that's a cryptid.
Oh,
I don't...
what's the difference?
We have to save it for the cryptid tier list. That's what the difference is, Tanner.
Okay.
So the
It's
same
his
reason Bigfoot wasn't on
discretion.
here, man. Like, come on. Also, I did basically ignore anything in South America. I'm sorry. The list just got too bloated by the time I was circling around to that part of the world, okay?
Mythological creature tier list part 2 coming at ya. Anyway.
And Espanol.
I'm excited for drop bears in the cryptids tier list.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I love drop bears.
Well, there we have it, folks. We did it. We got through the entirety of the mythological creature tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what things that we missed, and we will fucking tell you what we'd put it at in the comments, I suppose. Also, please do not fucking deride me for anything I've said throughout this entire tier list. Fuck you. Die. Anyway.
This is why we're not at 200 subscribers yet, Nico.
Yeah. Speaking of dying, I'm dying to talk about some movies over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the Movies?
You're gonna die, clown! You think that's funny?
Jackson, what do we watch this week?
The Patreon pick this week, as requested by Agant2611 on Patreon, thank you for the request, was the 1996 film Happy Gilmore, which is the story of a guy named Happy Gilmore. He needs to make some money because his grandma's gonna lose the house because she wasn't paying taxes. He finds out he's fucking super good at whatever hitting a ball really hard and far is in golf, and he makes a lot of money that way and helps get the house back, and it's a silly little comedy.
Tanner, you got a fun fact for us?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that part. Fun fact. The Subway commercial features the V-cut sandwich, which was how they cut their sandwiches prior to 1999.
That shit made me want a Subway.
It did kind of make me want some Subway, not gonna lie. I don't even like Subway particularly whatsoever, but like, damn. Like, when you go into a Subway, they just got that smell, okay? That iconic Subway smell that gets you really in the mood for a little Subway action.
I'm glad you guys all like Subway.
Let's go get Subway for dinner tonight.
You know what, Jackson? Maybe we should. Alright, so Happy Gilmore, boys. Our rankings may just surprise you. I'm personally sitting at a cool B.
I'm also sitting at a flat B.
Personally, I'm at a C minus.
Holy smokes. I'll raise you a couple. I'll say B plus.
Ah, damn. Jackson, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Why didn't you like this movie? Why was it not a jolly old time for you?
Unfortunately, this is a comedy, and like with most comedy reviews go, it's either you find it funny or you don't, and I didn't really find it that funny.
You don't seem to find any of them funny is the problem, though.
What do you want me to fucking say? You all want to fake it?
I just want you to have a little joy in your life is all, man.
I'm sorry, man. I think some of the things are funny, but, it's an Adam Sandler movie, and there's not a crazy amount of depth to a lot of it.
Dude, this is hailed as one of the greatest Adam Sandler films of all time, though.
It's a very low bar, thankfully.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I will put it pretty on par with, I rate to Click the exact same, and that's mostly just because I genuinely like the messaging of Click, and I do think it had some good narrative draw. This movie is just a pure comedy, and I wasn't crazy big on it.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I suppose.
I really don't have much more to talk about than that, to be honest.
Well, I thought it was funny. My biggest complaint about it was, I thought the editing was kind of schizophrenic. Like, it reminds me very much of, YouTuber vlog editing, where it's, cutting all over the place and trying to keep it super fucking hyper and high energy.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like that very much. It was a bit headache-inducing.
I mean, I think that Adam Sandler brings a decent bit of energy to the film. So I grew up with this film, okay? I watched it all the time. I thought that his fucking, mentor guy was, a much bigger part of the film than he actually ended up being. He shows up for the first big fucking golf tournament, and then after that, he's just fucking gone for a large swath of the film before he eventually comes back to teach him his short game.
Yeah.
And then he fucking dies.
That death was kind of stupid, not gonna lie. But I
was legitimately shocked when that happened. I'm like, okay. That's funny. I do like him just having this awkward wooden hand. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, you can very obviously see that he's just fucking holding it in his sleeve too.
Yes, sir.
It just extends so far.
Yeah.
I think the silly little line where it's I guess the alligator finished the job or whatever the fuck he said. I was like, what a cheesy line to throw in there, but hey, it makes sense, I guess. I guess it puts a bow on the end of this weird ass joke or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, this movie incited a few chuckles in me. Personally, not my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but then? We'll get to that eventually. We're not going to discuss it here. We're talking
this
about
week.
Happy
Are you
Gilmore.
picking it?
I doubt it.
Damn.
I don't know. I think the movie was fine. I like when the Adam Sandler makes his own movie. He's not a complete fucking retard when in it, which happens to be at least half of his movies. And I don't know. I didn't think it was anything crazy. I think it was your average run-of-the-mill film, obviously given by my ranking, another B+ to the pile. I don't know, I just thought it was funny enough to be entertaining, and nothing else was truly offensive. I don't recall a crazy amount of things from this movie. I like how villainous the one hoity-toity golfer guy was, but it's the same generic
Shooter
thing.
McGavin?
Yeah, you got a guy with a generic-ass name that matches the thing that he does. He's, generically evil, and he gets usurped at his own thing because he is trying to foil the protagonist. So they got that trope down pat in this movie, I gotta say.
I like Adam Sandler's energy throughout this film. I like that he is just this fucking violent psychopath.
Oh yeah, it's great.
He's just fucking beating the shit out of people constantly. He's just completely unhinged. But then, he starts to get brought in a little bit more as he, gets closer to this gal and stuff like that, and she's able to just rein in that energy, and I didn't like that as much. I wanted him to be just completely unhinged throughout the entire film.
Let my man be free.
Yes.
I thought it was great how they introduced some fucking football, fucking tailgate shit going on in the golf. I think that was funny little touch to it. And how that, I like the one manager guy from the construction site. I think he was a very silly addition to have him pop in every once in a while. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was fun to have in there. They fucking also another moment that I remember being a lot bigger as a kid was when he fucking murders the alligator or whatever. Like, it just kind of shows up and then he immediately kills it.
Yeah, I thought he's like, oh, it's missing an eye. It's that alligator, and he proceeds to beat the shit out of it. I thought I don't know why. There was nothing particularly entertaining. I just like the idea of, like, on a golf course, you got a hockey player that beats an alligator to death because it stole his fucking ball. I thought that shit was pretty silly.
Yeah, but unfortunately this film does also suffer from a decent amount of juvenile humor. Not the biggest fan of, and the plot leaves a lot to be desired, but, it's a good time, okay? I liked in watching this film. Is there a decent amount of nostalgia going on here? Yes. Would it be potentially in the seas if it weren't for that? Probably. But I liked it anyway.
Fair enough, dude. I just have a positive outlook on movies, and that's why I put it where I did.
I would say, too, I'm probably being dragged down because this movie has been touted, as, like, the best Adam Sandler movie, or, one of the better ones, and then also that, like, people just, like, it's like a cultural iconic movie, right? So I definitely had high expectations for it, and I did not meet those expectations. It was far more generic than I thought it was going to be, and that definitely hampered it.
Dude, Tanichi was mad talking it up to you. He said that this is the greatest Adam Sandler film that he ever produced. However, he didn't star in it whatsoever. He was just like a producer or some shit on it.
Tanichi's a funny guy. I did watch that movie, or this movie, with him.
Yeah.
He was having a great time.
That's good to hear.
Good, I guess.
One of these days we'll get to The Waterboy, dude, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that one a lot more.
What's really funny, too, is we finished this movie and it was immediately like, okay, so let's watch Waterboy right now. And I'm like, no, I'm going to sleep.
They are a great double feature.
From what he said, they're just the exact same movie with a different sport.
That is not entirely
kind
off
of.
base.
Yeah. Either way, though, guys, is that all we have to say about Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. I'm leaving it at a B. I think it's a fair enough ranking for the film.
Same.
Me too.
Yours was, are you going B now, or are you going B plus still, Dylan?
I'm still keeping it B plus.
Okay, cool. You gotta redo this, because I don't remember what you guys initially said, and I have to write them down.
I gotcha.
B.
B minus overall.
What?
I'm sorry I dragged it down. Maybe I'll find it funny the second time. I didn't grow up with this movie. It's the first time I watched it, so... Well.
Same.
Me too.
Oh,
How
wow.
exciting.
I'm shocked that I was the only one who watched it, apparently.
Yeah, right. I figured this would definitely be a high hit rate for all of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was one of the movies that I'd seen snippets of and never watched all the way through, but
I didn't even know it was about golf going into it.
Same. It
That's
wasn't
pretty
about
fun.
hockey.
Speaking of golf, we've got Tanner's pick this week, which was, of course, the 2011 film Shame. Tell us about it.
Dude, Shame is the story of Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender is a tall, handsome, rich, white European man, and inside him there are two wolves. One can get pussy very easily, and the other wants to goon. And the movie is just his struggle between those two aspects of himself. Fun fact, that was actually him pissing for real.
That's good. I'm glad they could
That's a shocker.
inject some realism into this movie. It was lacking that, quite frankly.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Additional fun fact, I really thought he was going to fuck his sister.
I did too. I was waiting for it.
I'm shocked he didn't.
Reading the description of the movie, I was also really hoping that was not the case. And then when it was that, let's get to the rankings before we get into this war. I'll start. Personally, I gave this movie an A-.
Jackson, where'd you put it?
I'm at a flat B.
Okay. You guys are so much higher than I am. I'm giving a C-.
Oh my.
Dude.
Swap
that's
the
great.
ranks
I'm
between
actually-
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually also at an A-, and I am shocked that Dylan is this high. I thought this movie would make you very uncomfortable, and thereby you'd give it a low rank.
It's a very introspective movie on the male psychology, but it's fine.
I agree.
Yeah, that scene when his sister walked in the fucking bedroom, I was like, alright, hold on. This is the fucking moment where the description either fucking... he was super aggressive to her, too, so that was good.
They have a lot of really close personal shots, but like their face is like inches away, and that's obviously on purpose. I think this movie is actually, I'm just gonna go and say, I think the best quality of this movie is its cinematography. Probably, it's a very well shot movie.
Yeah.
It's very nice to look at for the most part. A lot of interesting angles and things. And they're very purposeful with a lot of their shots. I like the ones where he's very close and intimate with his sister. And I think they're trying to make you think that because they're putting you in the perspective of the guy. And I think they just want you to kind of you see what he's doing. You see how degenerate he is. And you think that he would do that. And I think they're just trying to really sell that point of like who he is. Thankfully, he doesn't give into that. And he does end up flip-flopping on his position with his sister. But
yeah, this movie is very open to interpretation as to what exactly his thoughts and motives are. Personally, what I kind of walked away thinking was like, I imagined that he and his sister had sex at some point, like in their childhood or something, and he, in adulthood, is kind of traumatized by that, where he's kind of wrestling with like, it feels so fucked up, and because of that, but like he feels fucked up about it, but also he can't stop thinking about it, and so that's why he just is constantly getting sex with random other women, because he's trying to forget or like get his mind off the fact that he's like, fuck, did I enjoy having sex with my sister?
could be as well. That also would actually maybe lead credence to like why he got so angry with her sleeping with his boss. There's like maybe like a hint of jealousy in there as well that he doesn't want to like fully reflect on.
Yeah, it could be that. Also, like, you know, she fucked his boss on his bed.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, it's still fucked up, but
I literally was watching that scene, like mouth agape, like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up about. I definitely can see that being an avenue of thought process. However, I kind of was not. My like thought process though is a little I struggle to say pure because that's not at all what this movie is. But like I think he was more so angry because he knows what he's struggling with, and he thinks his sister is also, well, not thinks, his sister's probably also struggling with the same issue, and that could have just been because of how they were raised. So he knows how she thinks, and so he's trying to keep her from fucking up other people's lives because theirs is, and because he had the boss had a wife and a child, which we didn't find out till after that scene. But then also just like they just met, and his boss is being kind of a fucking scumbag. And then also, yeah, it was in his room on his bed. His life is being invaded. He has no privacy. He tries to go on a fucking run to like take his mind off of it, and he comes back. And everything is just like a mess. And he had his life, he had his privacy. He's dealing with his own issues. He doesn't want to have his sister and her baggage as part of his issues, because now she's living under his roof, and she can't like seem to handle her own problems. But like, and all she wants to do is like connect and talk and be a family. But like, he's dealing with so much shit, he's not hearing that or seeing that. So it's causing a disconnect between them, which causes the rift. And, you know, it's his own personal like psyche that's like really the make or break point in a lot of the decisions and a lot of the circumstances that happen throughout this movie. So I could fucking go on forever, but I'd be sitting here talking forever. So I'll take a break for now and let you guys go. And if I feel the need to jump in, I will.
I just kind of feel like this film is exactly what both Tanner and Dylan thought Midnight Cowboy was, where it is just kind of like a dude who's fucking, and not a whole lot else happens.
it's a character study. It's a slow-paced, introspective character study. About
yeah, but I didn't really like the
see...
characters. The problem.
Alas, then. It makes sense why you didn't like the movie very much. Yeah. Personally, I think my biggest drawback with this film, because I think the acting is well done. I think it's an interesting concept, but the pacing is just insanely fucking slow.
It's so fucking slow. Oh my god. They
have a lot of just like really long takes where not much is going on, which, you know, this is a character study. It's giving us a lot of time with the character and very personal solo settings and things. I get what the vision is. It definitely took me out of it a little bit, though. I kind of was just fucking bored for a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do see the artistic value of all of this. I do think it's a well-made film for the most part, but yeah, definitely didn't grip me as much as I would have liked if it was a bit tighter.
Yeah, just like a fucking 4-minute scene of Sissy singing, and it's like, did we need to hear the entire song? I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that part was a little strange. I was trying to sit there and figure out what they were trying to portray with that scene, and I just figured I wasn't big brain enough to figure it out. But even looking back on it now, as looking on the movie as a whole, I still struggle to really understand what that scene was about. Maybe it was supposed to be some kind of appeal to the boss or whatever the fuck, and it's supposed to be like, oh, maybe this is, he's got such an attractive sister, what the fuck, like, but I
think you're thinking about it too hard. I think she was just doing her job, and the boss just wants to fuck anybody with a pulse, and she was an easy target, so he goes for it, and his brother was just proud of her, which is why he, like, shed a tear during it.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, the big positives are the performance and the script. Obviously, as someone who has struggled with sex addiction myself, I connected with this film quite a bit, and I definitely suspect someone involved in the making of this has had that problem themselves, because they get a lot of stuff, like, just really spot on. Like, one thing that really stood out to me was the scene where he has his coworker that he went on a date with, and then, like, he can't perform with her. And I thought that was really sort of interesting or whatever, because it's like he has kind of started, he's started the process of, like, objectifying women and just seeing them as, like, things to have sex with. And so when he does, like, sort of form an emotional connection to someone, it actually turns him off from them. Like, that's how fucked up his psyche is at this point. And you can also tell he's really starting, like, he has some, like, misogynistic comments and whatever, and he's kind of starting to hate women specifically because he has such an easy time getting them. Like, he's like, there's something wrong with you for being interested in me, because he knows he's so fucked up inside, even though all they can judge him off of is that he's, like, good looking and wealthy. The biggest negative to me is the ending, probably the last, maybe not half hour, but, like, the last 15 minutes, half hour to 15 minutes or so, because they really start speeding it up and just throwing tons and tons of new developments at you, one after the other, and it just feels like it gets a bit too loose. The thing with him going into the gay nightclub and getting his dick sucked, there is room for this idea that where if you have a sex addiction, you will just start having sex with, like, even people who do not match the sex you are attracted to, but it just feels kind of thrown in there and they don't even really reflect on it at all afterwards. It feels like it doesn't fit into this movie at all.
I feel like the whole point of, like, that whole last scene is kind of just, like, we get it from his perspective, like, of his really messy, conflicted headspace at the time after that, like, big argument with his sister. So, like, we're kind of viewing it, all of it, from, like, his perspective almost, in like, that way of presenting it. It's all very messy. It's all jumbled up and confused. He was doing a lot of things he regrets and did not like, things like that. It was how I interpreted it. True. I definitely see you understanding it or making it feel like it was just really messy.
Yeah.
And then his sister tries to kill herself because of it.
Yeah.
Not because of it.
Because she knew he got a blowjob from a man. She's like, my brother's fucking gay. I'm taking myself out.
I've dealt with too many hardships in this life. That's one too many.
And then I do feel like it ends at a point where, like, it's a little too open to interpretation in my mind. Like, I wish I had a bit more concrete of an idea of, like, why this character is the way he is and what his future may have in store for him, I
don't know. I feel like the easy interpretation is really that he just has kind of, like, accepted that, like, he's tried to, like, get past it, but maybe he just, like, knows more about who he is, and he's just more in control of his, I guess, emotions and compulses. Like, he realizes, like, his, like, who he was brought his sister to that point. He's a large contributor to her having that, the issues that she has with the lack of attention and all that. And, we have that parallel of the intro to the movie where he just sees some random chick and tries to fuck her. And this time he does the same thing, except he doesn't go for it. And I think that's really just trying to represent that he has improved as a person. We saw him throwing away all that shit. As the movie suggests, he's ashamed of himself. And I think it's really just trying to say that he's just working on himself and he's getting better with his addiction.
Yeah.
He can control it more, at
Personally,
least.
I kind of interpreted that ending as them fading to black before he made up his mind on what he was going to do. Like, to me, it didn't seem like it was, no, he's decided not to pursue this woman.
To each their own.
Personally, so I'm gonna try to speed through this because Tanner covered a lot of it. The scene with the intimate, coworker, yeah, I kind of see it the same way, where I probably didn't, dive as introspectively as you did, but because in psychology there's many forms of love, and he is just incapable of feeling the romantic kind of love that allows for passionate, sex, because obviously in that moment he wasn't able to have it. But then we see him immediately afterward, he hires a fucking prostitute, and then, has sex with her. So it's just like he realizes he's unable to become emotionally, romantically attracted to somebody because he's kind of deadened that for himself. And just going on, like, he's on the train, he's going home, and the end of the movie kind of turns into this almost like a death spiral. Not the movie itself, but like he's kind of falling down this spiral where it's just like, it's just going further and further downward, and you're like, yeah, he is seeking out, forms of pleasure wherever he can get it, because eventually that's where the degenerative mind goes. It doesn't matter how you get it, as long as you get it, your brain is satisfied. And then he's on the train home, and then the train stops and it's like an emergency. And then it's kind of like a callback to when his sister first showed up and she was like fucking around and she was like standing at the edge of the train platform. So then your mind's like, oh shit, they just had a fight. They're all like, all they have is each other. She's all fucked up. Did she fucking jump in front of the train and kill herself? So then that also triggers the thought in his mind, and he starts booking it home after he calls her, and then, fucking finds her in the bathroom. And then it turns into, like, she's fine, she's rested, but, like, all before that, he was doing things to only please himself, and, like, he's trying to, like, hit, like, a dopamine rush, like, one after the other. He's just trying to find things that satisfy himself. And then, to the end of the movie, after we see his sister recovering in the hospital and they talk, they're kind of making up. He cares for her, like, passionately, like, they are family, they are all they have. And he realizes the ending was different to me, where it could be left open to interpretation. I'm not going to deny that. But to me, what the ending said to me was, you are going to allow pleasure and debauchery and XYZ come between. Like, if he was, like, any more late, if he had chased after that woman on the train, he probably would have missed his sister and she would have died. So I think it's at that moment he realized, like, hey, if I continue to let my emotions and my lust and all this shit, like, control my life, I'm gonna miss out on the actual precious things in life, like family and all that kinds of things. So I think in that, like, moment, because of, like, the small decisions he made, throwing out all, like, the porno magazines and, like, throwing away the laptop and all that shit, just doing little things throughout the end of the movie to clean up his life, I think he's starting to realize, like, hey, even if it's not all at once, I can make my life better one step at a time. And if I don't, shit like my sister killing herself and actually dying is what's going to be the consequence of my actions. So that's what I got out of the ending, at least.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Unlike Michael Fassbender in Shame, he could never be satisfied. Alright, I'll fucking bump up my rank, alright. I feel like I was a little too mean. I'll give it a C.
Okay.
I'm sticking at my B.
I'm gonna stick with my A-.
Radical.
And that lands it at a B flat overall. How exciting.
Whoa.
Truly.
The rare artsy film that Tanner enjoyed.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of artsy films, we've got the 1993 film Falling Down, as requested by Nico. Please give us a short plot synopsis.
Alright, so Falling Down is the story of my average commute to work. It features Michael Douglas, a man down on his luck as he travels home on the perilous streets of LA, slowly increasing his arsenal and encountering a cast of kooky characters like a Korean, gangbangers, and Tanner, until our hero, who just wants to see his daughter on her birthday, is maliciously gunned down by the police.
Dude, I'm Michael Douglas, not that Nazi in the supply store.
Incorrect.
Fact, Detective Price states he can't translate for Mr. Lee because he is Japanese and Lee is Korean, but in real life, Price is Korean and Lee is Chinese.
Wow.
So like both of those are characters when they got accused, someone said, "Oh, aren't you this?" and they said, "No, I'm that." They actually were that. So
Oh, that's funny.
I love that.
phrenology wins again or something. I don't know.
All right, so I'm giving this film an A. How about you, Dylan?
I'm giving it an A.
Wow. How about you, Tanner?
I'm at an S-.
Wow. Jackson, how about you?
You guys like this movie a lot more than me. I have it at a B- or a B+ right now.
I had a feeling, you piece of shit.
Damn.
Still thought it was good. I wasn't crazy about it though.
Dude, so I like this movie quite a bit. I think it just does such a good job of capturing this sort of specific element of the American psyche, I suppose. This is definitely a vibes movie. It's got great atmosphere. I really like our characters, especially our main guy and our detective, and how they, are two sides of the same coin, where one person decides to be driven mad by the world around him and the other decides to fight through it,
Yeah.
My biggest positive is I think the ending is fantastic. I loved the ending, just that ending conversation between them and then him dying in suicide by cop.
Yeah.
Going into the last, however many minutes, I was like, okay, the best bow to put on this is to have him kill himself. And doing a suicide by cop is even better than him like blowing his own brains out. It was great. Also,
just that last line of like, I would have won.
No, I was gonna say the last line of I'm the bad guy?
Oh, yeah.
How did that happen? Dude, oh my god, I fucking loved that shit, dude. I just think this movie is so good at being introspective about, sort of, the fast-paced capitalist world we all live in. And I know that I usually say that shit like this is gay, but for whatever reason,
I was
movie,
expecting you to do it here, too.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I like the way this movie pulls it off.
Tanner liking a movie with a large amount of social commentary. That's a new one.
Oh, yeah.
Who thought we'd
Maybe it's
ever
just
see the
because
day?
he starts killing people in response to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say my biggest flaw with this movie, and I have this issue with a lot of movies we watch, and it's mostly that like it feels very on rails in some regards. Specifically, a lot of things just feel kind of forced. Like we have all these scenes of just these random fucking people being aggro towards him. And granted, he's in LA, so the hit rate of that kind of makes sense. But it just happens like every fucking scene is just some other fucking guy being a dick to him randomly and him being a psycho as like a result. And it just feels very unnatural to me for the most part. But outside that, I think it's fun.
What times does that really happen? Because it's only like the gang members and then like the random guy outside the phone booth.
I think it's mostly just like him in general just being like dragged into all of these scenarios as a whole is what makes it mostly feel unnatural, I would say. Maybe I'm not entirely... what I'm trying to say is like, just the scenarios he gets put in general, I guess, don't feel super realistic and feel kind of like we're just like watching some events happen continuously. I'm not doing a great job explaining my gripe here, but it was kind of like a vibes thing when I was watching it. I was just like, this is kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I can't fault the movie for it, because I don't think it's a detractor. The thing is, he was writing the line of being righteous and self-righteous at the same time. I do think there was still a twinge of he is some kind of psycho, because there are definitely ways... Tanner kind of said it's two sides of the same coin. There are definitely ways to handle situations, especially the situations that happen in this movie. But the way that this guy decides to go about it is matching force with more excessive force. And, at the end of the day, people will be like, oh, this guy was just a true patriot. He was showing, like, this is our country and people are coming here to take advantage of us. And that's kind of what the big rant at the beginning of the movie was. It was like, I think it was more so he was targeting inflation, which I thought was kind of funny, but he still fucked up that guy's store regardless. But yeah, I just remember constantly thinking throughout this movie, I was like, all right, I don't think this guy is necessarily overreacting, but to say that he's not psycho for his reaction
shooting
would
up
be...
the phone booth isn't a slight overreaction to that minor.
He is
That's the other
He's
like
absolutely a fucking psychopath.
that's the other like aspect of this movie is like he as his arsenal grew, so did his aggression and his like fits of rage. But which I thought was also an interesting concept because you'd be like, oh yeah, well that just makes sense. Of course he would grow more aggressive as his arsenal grew. But like at the fucking burger shop, for example, I think that was probably his biggest display of fucking psycho behavior because is it a little ridiculous that it's like when he checked the time, like, oh, of course, it's 7 minutes past the time they stopped serving breakfast. I think it's a bit ridiculous on both sides, but no, that for sure was, like, the biggest, like, example of overreaction by psycho behavior. But it just, I think one thing this movie was trying to point out is, like, you can choose to react one of two ways. Obviously, there's more ways, but you can react one of two ways. You can be cool with what's happening and just move on and live your life. Or, I guess you could take a psycho stand, which, you know, this guy just kept getting wilder with his psycho outbursts. But I didn't necessarily dock the movie for that. I just think it was a progression of watching this guy slip further and further into insanity. You could even see it reflected in his phone calls with his fucking ex-wife, where he was just kind of silent at first and non-confrontive, and then as the movie went on, you could see him becoming more abrasive, more aggressive, more confrontive, until eventually you get to the very, very end, where he's like, yeah, you never believe it, this place that we used to always go to for ice cream or whatever, it's gone now. I thought that scene was fucking really well put together too, where it was like a snap of realization for the ex-wife, and she like fucking throws the phone, grabs her daughter, and runs. And he like that was like his cue, like his some kind of psycho killer instinct like snapped into place, and he fucking took off. But yeah, I agree. I think the plot of this movie was great. I thought the acting was very good, and I just liked the way that this movie progressed personally.
This guy, the character that is a fucking insane victim to the past. I feel like a lot of the actions he has are very centered around just the fact that he can't move on about things changing, which I think is interesting and very consistent throughout. I think the main guy's motivations behind what he's doing, obviously he's a fucking psycho, so it's hard to truly understand what he's thinking because he's crazy, but he's very consistent in his ideals and the way he's going about doing things, I would say, which makes him a very interesting character to follow because generally speaking, you can kind of assume what he's going to do in any scenario, which I like. He's just a fun guy to watch on screen. I also do think this movie is kind of like Fargo more than I would have expected to, where they've got the fucking shenanigans, crazy A plot, and then we go and cut to the fucking police trying to figure out the mystery B plot, and then it all converges in the very end with our, one of the main guys from the crazy plot being shot by the cop.
Yeah, and it's definitely fun that, like, he doesn't see his actions as being bad. He thinks that, yeah, this is, like, a decently reasonable thing, where, like, he's constantly, like, resenting it when people are, like, viewing him negatively, where, like, you know, the shopkeeper thinks he's a thief, or, like, the pool boy and, like, his family thinks that, like, he's gonna hurt them and stuff like that. It's like, no, he just thinks, like, hey, I'm just, like, trying to point out the injustices of this world, okay? Like, this shit's fucked up, alright? I'm not, like, a bad person or anything like that. Or when, like, when he's, like, not necessarily robbing, but, like, you know, fucking holding up the fast food place, it's like, when he sees it, like, oh, people are fucking scared of me, he, like, starts trying to, like, make light of the situation. Like, hey, you know, that person, she just, like, threw up or whatever, guess they don't like the special sauce, And then, like, he eventually realizes, okay, this is, like, I'm definitely going way out of the social norms here. Hey, you know what? Nix the breakfast. I'll just take a lunch, never mind. But then, you know, things keep fucking setting him off because just the way the world works, it ain't exactly how it seems it should be. He just constantly keeps getting fed these lies that he's getting real fed up with.
Maybe I'm off base on this too, but I feel like this is also like the early 90s, so maybe the understanding of this wasn't fully what it is now, but like maybe there's some parallels of him being some form of like autistic or something. The fucking very intro scene definitely was like he's having like an overstimulation moment, and that's kind of what like ticked it off. He doesn't like have like all the social understanding of these cues, and he's just like reacting to things that way because of it.
It is quite insane. I kind of said this during my talk, but it is quite insane how being stuck in the past has driven him so much in this movie, because like Nico said, how like in the past everything was for him and how many, drawbacks he's taking when he's talking to these people. It's weird because it's almost a patriotic, like, feeling, but, like, it's just a very aggressive patriotic feeling. It definitely had me, like, questioning whether he was right or wrong closer to the beginning of the movie, and then, like I said, as time progressed, he very much spiraled into psychosis. But, that's also why I enjoyed the movie, because it did make me question it for at least a brief moment, before I realized this guy is actually just a fucking psycho. But yeah.
I mean, in ways, he is, like, a victim of the system as well. We see that, like, he was laid off from his job because he was deemed non-economically viable, all that kind of shit, where it's like, I guess not educated enough or, like, overskilled, who the fuck knows? They just fucking laid me off one day. And we see that, like, he went through the divorce and all that kind of stuff, and, like, the judge ended up just, like, putting a restraining order on him, even though like his wife says, it's like, well, I mean, he didn't ever hurt us, but like, the judge wanted to like make an example out of him and stuff like that. And so it's just fucked up, dude. It's fucked what he's had to go through, and as a result, he has not taken all of this very well.
Well, actually, she confirmed that he never hurt the daughter. It was kind of left to be interpreted that he could have hurt her, because when the cop was like, did he ever hurt you? She kind of hesitated and smiled, and she's not exactly.
She said no, but she feels like he could have.
Yeah, she was just threatened by him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of valid with, like, like some of, like, the family clips, too, that he was watching in the house. You can see him acting a little fucking deranged in those a bit, too, and that's making the wife uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of moments like that, which makes you think, like, how the fuck did he even get this chick and have a daughter with her in the first place?
I mean, we only really see that in, like, the last clip. And all the previous ones, they seem just kind of like a happy family. So I think that you could come to some sort of idea that, like, well, by that point in, like, that last video, it's kind of when their marriage was starting to fall apart, which is when he starts kind of, like, acting out a bit more in that sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this movie really leaves a lot of room for personal interpretation, like how, like, whether you think he's just crazy or if you think he's very intentionally choosing to do these things out of, like, a sense of injustice, and whether you think he's right or wrong for those things. And yeah, with the wife, towards the end, I feel like you can kind of see in her face where she's like, fuck, was he always like this, or did by divorcing him, did I set him off,
Right.
Some of the negatives I have, it's a pretty loose, like story structure, I suppose, where it is, you're flowing through it, seeing different things. You're seeing these different, like, encounters with different people all over the place, which isn't necessarily a negative, but I did feel it could be tightened up a bit more. I wrote down under my negatives the word insurance. I think that might just be a reference to him saying, oh, if you kill me, at least my family will get the insurance money, which I thought was a stupid line and also not how life insurance works. But I might have been referring to something else. I'm not totally sure on that one. But yeah, very few negatives overall. I just really, really like this movie.
It is a very solid time. We
haven't talked about this at all. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut your ass off, Nico. Okay. About, like, the parallels with him and the cop that's chasing him down, like, with his relationship with his wife and him working it out because she's a fucking psycho. Yeah. He's kind of the psycho in his relationship. And I think that's cool, they can make it work and fit in with their purpose in life, even with the, I guess, restrictions or things they have to work around. I do like that parallel.
Mm-hmm.
I also do like that we see that, like, sometimes when you're out there just being based and red-pilled, you're going to draw support from some unsavory crowds, and,
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the only thing you can really do there is kill him.
Yeah, I thought that was wild. When he fucking killed him, I was like, oh, dude, they're... Well, and then once that guy started acting aggressive to him, I was like, oh, no, this guy's signing his own death certificate at this point. Here we go.
Yeah, that was definitely the point of no return for him, where, like, you did just kind of murder that man.
To be fair, he was about to like rape him or something, so
That I got those vibes. I thought it was gonna go one of two routes. He was either gonna like try. Well, I knew he was gonna die either way, but I was like, this man's either gonna try to rape him or he's gonna try to subdue him. But I was feeling the rapey vibes, so that was a bit awkward.
Yeah, there are also just like a lot of really fun interactions with characters throughout the film as well. Like that scene with like the panhandler, the beggar dude who's like trying to fucking extort him out of just like literally anything. It's like initially it starts like, hey, can I have some money? And it spirals into, look, just give me fucking anything. I don't care what it is, just give me something. I should get something from you.
Dude, he did a
Dude,
great job deflecting.
Yeah.
yeah, that was he fucking logicked the shit out of him. What that scene told me is that homeless people are scam artists, though.
That's why you don't give to homeless people, because like you can't trust them, man. You can't trust them.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
worry, I don't.
Facts, dude.
There's that scene with like the rocket launcher as well, where he like fucking blows up the construction
That
site.
shit was so
and
funny.
that little kid just like walks up and is like telling him how to fucking use the thing.
That was so
Which
fucking
is
gold.
a great bit of like commentary there as well.
Yeah.
With like what is television teaching our children?
My only
Yeah.
thing was like when they were trying to go through the scene, it's like, oh well, I'm shooting a movie, and they're like, what's your movie called? And just getting way too into it and how casual everybody. I'm surprised nothing more happened out of that scene besides he shot a fucking rocket and it blew something up at the end of the street. I'm shocked that's all that happened there. But you know,
Dude, was it really that easy to commit heinous crimes back in 1990?
dude, it had to have been.
When you're white, yes.
Hell yeah. I do like that a lot. A lot of this could have been prevented if people could give him or more of a description of this guy than he's just some generic white guy that's wearing a shirt and a tie.
Yeah, exactly.
That bit was so stupid. I hated
Which is
it, but I didn't.
That's also definitely some more social commentary too about
Yeah.
like they definitely are not trying to be subtle about the differences in the way like black and white people are being treated or like minorities in general compared to our main guy, because like if he was black he probably would have been caught a lot sooner than he did.
Yeah, exactly. Like we see that, the guy protesting, the non-economically viable dude, who's like, he's just wearing the exact same outfit as our main boy is here, and he
Yeah.
just gets immediately arrested for fucking protesting. So
Our main character fucking had basically committed, I don't think he killed anyone yet, but he's been doing some fucking crazy shit up until that point. It just gets away with it, even though that guy, all he's doing is just protesting and he gets fucking arrested.
Yeah, what's crazy is that the only death to have happened by this guy's hands throughout the whole movie was that one Nazi guy, and everybody else either killed themselves or harmed themselves. I don't think he actually ever caused bodily harm to anybody else.
I mean, he fucking hit somebody over with a bat.
yeah.
Those are the same people that probably killed themselves in the car crash, so that's what I was counting.
He arguably killed that guy on the golf course that needed that medicine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
100%
is
too.
fair. That's an indirect kill. I forgot about that.
He had an option to fucking go and get that stuff back from it. He told him to just fucking die. Have fun with
Yeah.
that, buddy. He should have
Dude,
been
I
nicer
don't-
to me.
I don't know. That scene was like one of the ones that made me question. Was he based for like saying what he said about the fucking golf courses? Like this could be like public property, or do you think that was kind of fucked up?
See, that was one of the pieces of commentary where I'm like, nah, this one I think is kind of stupid. Like protesting the existence of golf courses.
Yeah, that's
it's
kind of what
private
I
land
was.
they're paying for, so who cares? The
Yeah.
guy definitely was acting a little rashly, but he definitely didn't deserve to die for it.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think to some degree there, he was just like kind of saying whatever because he's just like fucking pissed that he drove a ball at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Also, the old white guy shouldn't have been a fucking dick either, though. To be completely fair, like it was
True.
uncalled for behavior on both sides, in my opinion.
He's paying for the membership. He can drive his ball at any damn well ne'er-do-well he wants to.
That's just fucking boomer mentality. That's not even boomer at that time period, but you get what I'm saying. That's how those people think.
True. Another fun fact for this film, it was originally meant to be like just shooting on location, just like throughout LA, but then the LA riots happened, so they couldn't do that anymore.
Very
Damn.
funny.
It would have been fitting.
Very true. They should have just like shot a lot of riots.
That, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they caught any flack for releasing this movie that year.
It's tough to say.
Could be.
I liked it though. I was about to say I liked it though movie. I liked the movie though. It was very solid. I'm still sticking with an A, I think.
I think I'm gonna raise it up to an A-. I did for context, watched this movie literally today.
Okay.
So I didn't have as much time to let it simmer as the rest of them.
Yeah, I think I'm sticking with an A. This movie was quite good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my S-.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
And it lands at an A overall.
Who said
Fantastic.
Dylan and Nico can't agree? Who says we have differentiating media opinions? Who?
No one says that, because that's not how you use the word differentiating.
And speaking of differentiating, Dylan, what are you picking this week?
We're watching Kingsman.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Which
I remember
one?
watching the first one, I assume.
I've never seen Kingsman before, so...
It's a very good movie.
I watched that one with my dad in theaters, and I quite enjoyed it, so actually I'm excited for this one. I
Let's
did want an excuse to watch that one
fucking
again.
I have heard good things, so...
It is I think it's a very good film, but again, what I think is good film and what you guys think is good film is not the same thing at all.
I know that a girl wants to have anal sex.
That's not necessarily how it goes, but I will not deny that it doesn't happen.
Okay. Jackson, what about you? Oh yeah, we need to pick a... Okay, Dylan,
Yeah.
do you want to watch live action or animated by Jackson?
Given that I picked live action, you know I'm going with animated.
I'm going animated as well.
There we
Fuck
go.
me.
Damn. Animated's usually better for Jackson anyway, Tanner, so get fucked.
I want the bad movies.
We've gotten so many bad ones.
I think it's funnier.
My initial pick for the fucking... This, unfortunately, was the bad one again.
God damn it!
My-
I only went with Dylan here because Jackson said Dylan has a pretty good track record of picking the good movie, but then you guys just picked the opposite. So I was hoping.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're watching... Maybe this one is good. I don't know. It's probably not. We're watching fucking... What's the year of this shit? I lost it in my list. Where the fuck is it? What the fuck is the year?
Does the
It's
year matter that
2008
much?
The 2008 film Killer Bean Forever. The Killer Bean movie, of course.
Interesting.
The good movie, of course, was Pulp Fiction, so you guys really dodged a bullet
Oh
there.
my god.
Damn.
Fantastic.
Well, you guys are now 1 for 5 on good picks and
This
bad
is exactly
picks.
what I'm talking
Jackson,
about.
maybe you should just pick the good movie that you intended to pick from now on.
I mean, I think it's
funnier
really
this
fucking
way.
fun. You've lost fucking 4 50-50s.
I just
That's
don't
pretty
think you can
hilarious.
trust us here anymore.
Dude,
You, need
you
to
know
take
what
the
it
power out
is?
of our hands.
You know what happened, Nico? It's because I lost my 50-50 on Trigger, and that's why I have this luck now. This is unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
True, it's flipped. I want to watch these good movies. You guys need to start winning, man.
I want to watch them too, man. Every time you say what the good movie is, I'm like, damn, I really want to see that.
Anyways, maybe we've got a good movie in our Patreon pick this week, which is, of course, the 2022 film Shin Ultraman, as requested by Tutbot on Patreon. Thank you for the request.
Wow, just like Shin Godzilla. And if you guys would also like to request a film, then Tanner's going to tell you how you can do that.
That's right, everyone. If you want to request a film just like Tutbot, just head on down to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish, and for only $1 a month, you get early access to every episode as well as exclusive access to our pre-Guap show. We had a nice meaty one today, so be sure to check that out. Also, you get access to our Discord where you can talk to us, request topics, and you get 500 slime coin, and you get to request movies. Finally, you get your name read out at the end of every episode, just like I'm gonna go do right now. Thank you very much to GH, Slayed by J, Blake, Nedagant, I Love Lesbians, Top Ramen Man, Cum Guzzling Cum Guzzler, I Guzzle Cum, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards.
Thank you very much to our patrons, and please feel free to ringing that bell, like, comment, subscribe, and we will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.